We're ready? Okay, I would like to introduce Jado Foote, who is the secretary, or she's the treasurer actually, of the nature group, has been one of the founding members and is very active as a bird watcher, reporting what birds we see, adding many new ones to the list. And unfortunately, she hasn't been able to take anybody out on a nature walk, but nicely, she did an initial walk and we can appreciate it virtually today. Linda Kane, who is with us, as I said, has taken many of the pictures. So I'll just turn it over to Jada.
Okay. Morning, everybody. Let me get set up here. Host is disabled participant sharing.
Oh, that's my fault.
Okay. Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. There we go here. Did I get it to you? Are we still in full screen?
No.
Did it get to full screen?
No.
Oh. I'm clicking on it. You might have to help me. I don't know.
Go to the little, there's a little arrow along the left side column. Why don't you try clicking that? Just to the left of the blue. Yeah, there.
It didn't get rid of my.
No, it didn't. Sorry.
That's okay. We had this little issue the other day with this, so just bear with us a little bit.
Bill's coming in, Jado.
There he comes.
Don't we go to view?
Yeah, we did. I went to view.
Okay.
And see, I'm on full screen already.
Always show.
So here we
Unclick
go.
the toolbar.
Unclick.
Back up to view.
Enter full screen.
No, gotta unclick the toolbar first.
It says always show toolbar.
No, go to view. Okay. The one that's clicked, turn that off.
Okay, now?
Now try full screen and see what happens.
There we go. Yeah. Everybody see that? Okay, good morning, everybody. I've been walking here for about 10 years, and I've been birding all that time here at Hershey's Mill. And so this is my virtual walk, a walk that I do frequently. So what we do is we go park. If you come to join me or you come to go on the walk, you go into the parking area where the cove is, and you drive to the very far end of the cove parking lot. Park facing the building, facing cove, and when you get out of your car, you go around to the right and you'll see this area. This is our nature trail. Hershey's Mill Landscaping has done a fine job of wood chips back here, and that's where we start. Let me get my clicker here. So one of the first things you see when you kind of walk down that little path is this little box. It's actually a wood duck box, but and it's occupied right here. I'm going to show you. This has been taken over by a Screech Owl. Whoops, and here's our Screech Owl right here. He's sitting in there. He's very small, and he just sits in that window and watches what happens. So he's not there now. He was there for about 2 months a year ago. Here's more of the nature trail. This is blooming right now. This is redbud here, and we have benches along the nature trail if anyone wants to just sit and watch. I frequently do that. Another view of our trail, and this is Ridley Creek all along here. So we can sit again on a bench and listen to the babbling brook and enjoy the sights and the sounds. Another view of Ridley Creek from another place in our Hershey's Mill. And And this is one of the first birds that we might run into when we're walking back there. There's a little pond area on the left side, and this is a great blue heron. You may know this bird. You may see this bird around in various areas. He sometimes is around the lagoon that's in Jefferson. Here's another picture of him. Linda's taken this picture. This is wonderful. Linda likes this because he's only on one foot. He's only going one there. Another bird that we see frequently, or I should say infrequently, is the little green heron. He's down standing on the branches that are like low over the pond area. He likes to drop pieces of leaves down into the water, and then that attracts a fish to the indent on the water, and then he grabs the fish. So he's quite an interesting bird to watch. Excuse me a minute. This is one of our spring ephemerals. They're flowers that just bloom this time of the year. This happens to be a Celandine Poppy, and it just recently bloomed, and there's several native flowers along the trail there. I've kind of put a little bit of a barricade with some logs, some small twigs and things, so hopefully we'll keep the folks from trampling. Wouldn't you know, I've got a lawnmower right there. Here's another one of our beautiful spring flowers. This is a Virginia Bluebells, all native. This is in full bloom right now. You may see it here and other places. Here's another pretty view of it. This is one of my logs over here and one of my protectors. This is another flower that you'll see growing all along the banks of Ridley Creek. In fact, throughout our village and throughout Hershey's Mill, you'll see this. This is a Trout Lily, and this is its little blossom. It sort of hangs down like that. We have fun finding these Trout Lilies. They're very, very interesting to see all over the place. There's another one of our interesting, this is Bleeding Heart. And if you'll notice this little heart-shaped flower, I was reading about this the other day, there's a little appendage down here and there's a little tiny red dot, and they say that's symbolically a drop of blood. I don't know. And here's our Trillium. This is extremely rare. I've only seen 3 this year, and I'm looking for them all the time. This is the bud right here, and this one has lost its bud. Who knows why? It could have been, I don't know, a squirrel or something, but it did not have a bud. These open up to a pretty bloom. And this one is a new one that we just discovered. Christine has told me that this is a green Trillium. Was it? I told Christine a little story about this. My mom was a good wildflower person, and she used to call these wake robins. So it was kind of an interesting little side piece there. I looked it up online, and sure enough, it exists, wake robin. There's another area that we frequent. It's below the lagoon area. The lagoon is over by Jefferson Village. There's a small wetland area below that. And there's also another nature trail there. This is along that nature trail. This is full bloom from last summer. There's lots of good ducks in there now. There's wood ducks and other things in there. And I'm sure everyone is familiar with our resident goose. He is a Canada goose. We don't call them Canadians. Canadians is a nationality. So remember that they're Canada geese. And here is one of our interesting birds who's now in that little pond area back off the nature trail. This is a coot. He's by himself. They usually travel in flocks, and I don't know why he decided to stay here, but he's here. And he's just having a great time. He's eating vegetation off the bottom of the pond and tipping up all the time. So if you get a chance to walk back there, you'll see him. He was there yesterday. I don't know if he'll stay or who knows? Only he knows. There's another one of the birds you might see out on our lagoon area. This is a shoveler. It's a male shoveler, and he's got this wide beak here, and he kind of shovels along in the water and scoops up insects. And this is another fantastic picture that Linda took of one of our resident red-tailed hawks. I'm not sure which village this is in, but this is one of our wonderful fellows here. There's quite a few of them around. They're residents, they nest here, and we have a red-shouldered hawk as well, who also nests here. He's similar to this bird. And our wonderful, wonderful bald eagle. This was photographed right over top of the ninth, is it the ninth green, ninth fairway? And he was there in the winter, or in the springtime earlier. Linda got this great shot of him. And I happen to think this was fun because they just put these one-way, this was earlier this year, they put these one-way signs up on the walkway around the lagoon. And I just was tickled about this. This is a tree swallow, and he's sitting there going the wrong way. So he made me chuckle. And this is an interesting phenomenon, really. This is a little nest. I'm going to show you a better picture of it in a little bit. It's Baltimore Oriole nest. The birds, especially the female, goes and collects grasses, and she weaves this nest. This nest happens to be right across, last year, right across from Sullivan House. Actually a bench right underneath it. You could sit there on the bench and look up and watch. This is what it looks like. This is not what our nest is, but this is what it looks like. You can see all this interesting woven stuff here. And it lasted all winter long. Even the birds weren't here, but it survived through the wind and the rain and the snow and everything. So it's just a little bit of a remnant left now, hoping they'll be back to build there again. And I'm sure everyone else is familiar with these wonderful reptiles. These are our turtles. We have several species of turtles. I'm not going to attempt to identify these, but we have red-eared sliders and we have painted turtles. We also have snapping turtles. You may be familiar with the snapping turtle. This is a big snapping turtle. And they have just surfaced. They were wintering in the mud, and they're out now and looking for mates. And uh-oh, what happened here? Another one. And last year, I was able to find this little treasure. This is a turtle egg. And I had to send those pictures on to Wilbur to get a positive ID on that. I was pretty sure it was, but that's a turtle egg. And if you look at this one, this is my shadow right here. And this is the little turtle right here. And I was lucky enough to see him, he was just moseying along on the walkway there. There's another little picture, a tiny little turtle. And another one. And this was a different one in the grassy area, in the same kind of location. And of course, we all know garter snakes exist. We have three species here: garter snake, a rat snake, and a water snake. This is right behind my house. I planted that flower, and about 10 minutes later, this is what showed up. So very harmless. I know people see them and they get concerned about them. They're completely beneficial to our environment. And this is the other interesting thing if you're walking around. This is our beehives, the beehive area, Mr. B's bees. And these are bees. This is all bees all around this. And this was in my backyard last week. This is my bird bath, and this fella came in to sit there and enjoy, I guess. He's one of our mammals. Here's another one. This is an interesting little fella. All I could get was his tail. This is a black squirrel. He's a species, he's a gray squirrel with a color variant. And I tried very hard. I tried with the video, and I couldn't get a good picture, but he's found over in the Devonshire area. We see them there frequently. This particular one was on the nature trail below the lagoon. And I'm sure everyone has seen these guys around. This is a cottontail. And I don't know what the story is behind this, and maybe somebody does. This is on the nature trail. There used to be a trunk of a tree that was left over, and someone carved it into the shape of a bear. It was here when I came here, and over the course of the years, it disintegrated. And 2 years ago, this showed up. I don't know who made it. I don't know why it's there. I don't know any of the story, but it's kind of an interesting. It's as tall as I am. It's hard to tell that right now, but it is. And here's another critter that we see occasionally around. This is a groundhog. This picture is not from here, but we do see groundhogs here. There's several holes around. And this is the end of the nature trail as it comes out onto Chandler. Chandler is down here, and the garden area would be right behind us if we were standing here. You can sit on the bench and enjoy the lovely flowers that are planted there. And these are some more pictures that I have of interesting things that I see around. This is a, the name escapes me, not blue grosbeak. This is a blue grosbeak. And I'm sure all of you are very familiar with this one. Nice pretty cardinal here, a male cardinal. He's enjoying some seed. He actually, right now, this time of the year, is trying to entice his a lady friend in, and he eventually will pick a flower out or a sunflower seed out, and he will feed her. It's very sweet to see that happen. If you pay attention to the two of them when they're together, you might see that. It's very kind. This is on my deck last year. These are the bluebirds that came into my deck. They stay here in winter here. I had some mealyworms out there for them. And it was fun to, sorry. I hit the wrong button. And this is what I have in one of my nest boxes right now. I have this, 5 eggs, and I also have another box that has hatched 5. So that's a nice thing to know that they're active and healthy. This is pine needles. They have pine needles all around. That's what they make their nest material. And of course, I'm sure all of you know this is headed our way. Spotted lanternfly nymphs. Here they come. They're going to be prolific this year, unfortunately. And this is one of the things that you get to see at Hershey's Mill. You can see this beautiful rainbow. This was taken from actually right in front of my garage. I thought it was a pretty scene. There's another beautiful sight. This is Jefferson Village in the background, and this is just a gorgeous morning sight. And here's the moon reflecting in the water. He's up here. And this is a storm cloud over Jefferson again. This is looking west. And here's another lovely winter scene. I love this picture. I love my home. This is the view from my dining room. I feel very fortunate to live here. And that is the last end of the season, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Stop share. So that's the nature trail, folks. So you get a chance to get out there, you'll see some of those things, and it changes every day.
How long